welcome to the Gen X Gamer Podcast. This is your host, Kidikorius, and what can I say? We've been off the air for a little while. I don't know what to even blame it on. We all had COVID for 3 months. Is that something not to joke about? Okay, I'm just kidding. We didn't. Hey, what can I say? You know, life happens. We had to take a break. Nightshade, my co-host, has been, just all over the place raising chickens. But thankfully, Wacko Jacko was able to bring us back together. He's like, listen, season 10 of Apex is coming out. The people want to hear us speak about it. So I am here with my great co-host, Nightshade. Welcome, Nightshade.
All right. Yeah, it's great to be back, man. I started going back to work again, and, you start driving in the car, leaving the house. It's been so long. Things just get away from you. But luckily, we've been playing Apex this whole time, so we're qualified to talk today, hopefully.
This be true. And then Wacko Jacko, our guest host. Thank you for taking a few minutes to share in this wonderful moment with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am excited. Really, I feel like this is the only game that I have any expertise on, and that's not saying much, but I'm here. I'm excited.
Much. Your take is very important. And, yes, definitely. And I one of my favorite things is ever since we went from not just doing a podcast, but for doing a YouTube, is that I get to see your faces and see what you decide, how you're going to present yourself. So I am wearing my avatar shirt, which was a birthday present from Wacko Jacko. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. It looks really good on you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in fact, you were the one who introduced me to Avatar, The Last Airbender. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Okay. I think you
I rarely forget anything that I can do. And then what can I say? My hair, I know you can't see it here, but my hair is getting long, folks. I mean, all it looks like is a little bun, but if I wore it, it would come. I would look like the girl from The Ring. It would be fantastic. I'm going to do it one day just for the podcast and be like, hello, my name is Kidikorius. Is going to be sweet.
Yeah, you should do it.
Sounds good.
Are you going for samurai or Kender here?
Great question. That is great question. And as much as I wish that this whole podcast was about Dungeons and Dragons and bringing us together, I would love to relive those moments. I'm probably going more for samurai, right? Tom Cruise, Last Samurai, because that's going to be me. I'm going to move to Japan, and I am going to go into rehab, have a really horrible moment where I hit my low because of alcoholism. Then this beautiful Japanese lady is going to sweep me off my feet. It's going to be wonderful. That's my life. From here.
Yes. As long as you have a really great internet connection, so we'll never miss a minute of it. We'll allow it.
Yes. Can I say we've probably gone on way too long about our personal lives. People don't care, really. They want to hear about Apex, right?
Right.
Season 10.
Let's do it. Season 10. Season 10 came out this week, and hopefully all of us had a chance to jump in and try it out. So, I'd love to hear. Just really quickly, before I actually turn the time over to you, the big changes here are new character named Seer, new weapon called the Rampage. Map of World Edge was not completely revamped, but definitely some changes to that map. And then, a few patches and bugs on characters and weapons and things like that. So those are the big changes. And if for anybody else who's tuning in, listen, this whole podcast today is about Apex. We love Apex. And it's the thing that's going to kick off season 5 of the Gen X Gamer podcast. And so season 10 just released. We want to talk about it. I want to hear your initial takes. And since Jack, you are the guest host, we are just going to turn that right over to you and give you the opportunity to have the first hot take, your first initial impressions of Apex season 10.
Yeah, I dig Rampage, the gun. I love how the flare kind of amps it up. It's a really fun gun to play with. I've only obviously played it for 2 days, but I really enjoy it. I'm wondering if it's going to be one of my go-tos. I also am happy to see that they've made arenas ranked. That is exciting for me. I tend to play arenas now a lot more. Nightshade and I, we play that, and Kidikorius, we play that one. I feel like a little more regularly than the drops. Even though the drops are awesome, we still have a hard time getting in sync when we're playing those games. And then usually, but in arenas, we just tend to do better more regularly, and we get to battle much more quickly. So yeah, I'm really digging the changes. Seer, I don't know. Nightshade, have you played Seer yet? Did you get a chance to play
No,
him
I haven't
yet?
played it myself. I watched a lot, and then you were being Seer the whole night last night. And we got a lot of time together, but it looks like it's going to take a little getting used to. It's not like an easy skills that you just automatically pick up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, when we were playing, you're the one who pointed out to me the heartbeat sensor right when you're looking down the sights. I think that's interesting. Today was the first time I actually tried to play and pay attention to that. And it was pretty cool. Whenever I would see a heartbeat on that little monitor, like kind of pinging to a certain direction, I would ping an enemy, even though I couldn't see them like behind a wall or behind an area. And lo and behold, the enemies were there. So I mean, it works. It's pretty neat actually. So I'm kind of excited to kind of test them out and figure it out.
And the tacticals, I mean, all the tactical, the passive, and the ultimate all kind of work together, you know, even more than maybe any other hero here. And so it's exciting that you have to pinpoint where to do your tactical with the heartbeat sensor. And then that's like this little, you know, tunnel that will be an x-ray vision of somebody for a while. And then you have to kind of know where to throw your ultimate, which creates this sphere, and everyone in the sphere who runs around or shoots is going to get, you can see their footprint and everything about them, and pretty much pinpoints them for the team. And then before they're even coming around the corner, it's boom, boom, boom. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and I like how there's a little bit of damage that you can give, you know, to an opponent, or like when that little tunnel comes at you and you get hit. I mean, just like anything else, you get a little freaked out. You're like, oh no,
and that's right.
I
forgot to say, it does 10 damage plus it cancels on most of the effects on the game of any other character, and it slows you down for a minute. So right now, that's super powerful. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep that. Do you feel he's like OP because of that, or I don't know if you've been hit by it many times as well?
I don't know. Corey, have you played with Seer? What are your thoughts?
Great thoughts there from both of you. My thoughts are that he's not OP. I think aesthetically and with regards to bringing in new powers to the game, I think it's solid. I think it's awesome. I don't know how dynamic it'll be for arenas, but I think for Battle Royale, it's really cool. I think his abilities are really cool, and I enjoy playing him. I agree with you, Nightshade. I hadn't thought about that, but they really are perhaps more, all three passive all the way to super are more cohesive than any other characters. He's not going to necessarily be easy to play for the average player and be as like and contribute as much to a team as perhaps, you know, some of the other characters, like obviously Lifeline or Bangalore, something where their ability really just, you know, can help out the whole team. And he doesn't do massive damage, but tactically speaking, it's pretty awesome. I think it is anyway. I think,
and the whole team can see it. So if it was just you that could see those X-ray visions, it would be a lot weaker. But your team really gets that tactical information as well, and a lot more than any other, hero here. We don't have anybody else who's going to be able to see the armor level and the health level of the people that they're fighting, and so you could tell which one to focus on. And I don't know. Do you think it gets rid of the powers of Bloodhound or Crypto? It kind of knocks them out of the running is for, you know, that kind of tracking character, or you feel it's different enough?
I don't think so. I mean, you're right. There are different ways to track the characters, and so it'll be interesting to see how they weave in with one another. I mean, his buff thing there is, in my opinion, is that not only do you track the character, but like you can see where they're headed, their exact health. Like it is more specific than the other characters. It is easier to see, and so I think it's kind of fun. I like him, and I like his characterization too. Furman, the other guy we play with, he remarked how much he can't stand Valkyrie's voice and the things that she says. They're a little cheesy, and I actually agree with him 100%. But Seer has kind of a cool vibe to it, very left field, out of the not very different and unique. So I like that about it too.
Yeah, and I would argue, Corey, you said that his ultimate wouldn't be necessarily as good in arenas, and I would argue that on the opposite direction. I mean, when I was playing with him and I did throw down that ultimate, I mean, it was it was super helpful, especially when, the circle's coming in closer and it's a tighter space and your adrenaline's kicking in and you can kind of hear a character, but you might not be able to see them right because they might be moving. But when you throw down that ultimate, I mean, it's awesome. Super helpful.
You guys would definitely know that better than me because you probably play arenas, a good 3 times as much as I do. So yeah, for sure.
I think it is helpful especially when you're in that close range and there's only a few people that you're really focusing on. But I've heard people say that his very best thing is the passive, which he can do over and over again. The tactical, the one with the tunnel, you can do every 30 seconds, which is a pretty quick cooldown. But the passive, all you have to do is look down your sights, even if you have a gun out or whatever, and you'll just see anybody within 75 meters of you will pop up. And so you just have to remember to be doing that, walking around every few minutes, seconds, sort of putting your gun up. But every kind of building you run by, you can check it, and then you can, mark for your team, like, nah, there's nothing in that one. Oh, there's enemies here. And that really does change the dynamic a lot.
I think Nightshade that'd be a great character for you. You're always sitting in the back, kind of on your scope.
Yeah.
Just watching people. So maybe that is your character.
Nightshade. You gonna settle for that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I am looking for a character that's kind of sometimes a support. I play Lifeline and jump on, reviving, and I'm not quite the best dog fighter on the team for sure. And I know Jack loves to just run right in there, and
it doesn't always help either.
And sometimes, our dynamic is a little different. So he's like, okay, are you with me? And I'm like, oh, I got you Overwatch, but you need to move over a little. I can't see where they win.
Very true. Hey, so I actually want to go back to what you said about the passive. I mean, you make it sound like that passive is blow your mind. Obviously, if you could walk by any direction and see within 75 feet all the bad guys, you make it sound like it's ingenious. I mean, the most amazing thing ever. But to be more grounded and real on that thing, I think one of the reasons I really like it is that it's actually a very subtle passive ability. It's not like they shine and there's vibrant light saying they're right there. All it is that center bullseye, and you see the color in the direction that they're at, right?
Yeah.
When you're
and it's going to have a color, I guess. If they're close enough that you could hit them with your ability, that they're like, they're close range or they're medium range. And that part, it doesn't, that's not going to give you the X-ray and show you where they're at. It's just like this, there's a heartbeat sound in this direction.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't think that's overpowered.
It's like the alien detector in Aliens when you have the little thing and you can tell they're getting closer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah. Boop.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
But what's great about it too, though, is if you have an idea roughly of where someone's at, even if they're hiding, I mean, you just lob some grenades, and I mean,
that's true.
You just have the advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really spend time with this character, I think you can be pretty deadly. But I mean, you could argue that with every character, right?
True.
Yeah. Do you think this is gonna be one of the most popular characters from here on out, or?
I don't know.
I mean, every character at the start, it feels like they want to make the character when it launches. They call it their legacy launch or something.
Yeah.
Make them seem a little OP, and then they have to dial it back a little bit, and then they it kind of settles in, and you see what the meta says about it and whether it really does click in. I don't know. I kind of don't think it's going to be like some Wraith type character where it's just considered to be top tier all the time, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Hey, I actually want to go back to what Wacko Jacko started with. And that to me is probably the coolest addition to season 10. And that would be the weapon, the Rampage. I think this weapon is a game changer in the sense that I believe it gives the average player a chance against above average players. That weapon does incredible damage when you can hit with that and when you can get on track with it. And then you even add in the little fuel cylinder you can add so it shoots quicker. Bottom line is that thing packs a punch. And I like it a lot. That thing's fun to play with for sure. I am constantly on the lookout for that gun. That was my play. Nightshade, did you play with the Rampage at all?
Oh yeah, I played with it a lot. And it's kind of, in a way, it's like, it's sort of a big brother to the Spitfire. It shoots a little slower and a little harder handle, but you can shoot for a while. And even if you're somebody who can't You're not good with the sniper rifle where you get like one shot and then you wait. You can kind of like, move around and get them that way. So that I can see that way is good. It's not a great close-up weapon. It's a little too slow for right in your face. I mean, it does damage, so it's not like useless. Like, I don't know if any of the weapons are totally useless, but
I don't think the weapon was designed to be close up.
No. I mean, and that's its sort of specialty is the mid-range game. And I think it's not like any other weapon. It has its own kind of flavor, which is exciting. I was kind of hit or miss with it, honestly. I know some people, so the pro players and stuff, are just really loving it, and they feel like it's way too powerful. But
yeah, I bet because the other players can actually wound them. I like it a lot. I thought that you would love it since you love to play Rampart.
And it doesn't have
LMG. You get the boost in ammo, and so I thought you'd love it as Rampart.
No, he's glitching. He's got a hack.
Yeah,
Chris. Oh, there you go. Just so you know, you froze there for a second.
I know. I could feel it.
Okay. Anyway. But yeah, we'll see. It's only been a day, so maybe you'll end up loving it.
I do like that because it shoots slow as well. It feels like there isn't as much of a recoil, and so for me, it's just easier to not miss my opponents. So, and that's usually my big issue, right? I get adrenaline rushes, and then I start just blasting everywhere and missing. Yep. And so to have a gun that's just like consistent and doesn't bounce around a lot gets me really excited.
Hey, I want to pause really quick for anybody listening to the podcast. We also have our YouTube video version of this that you can check out at our YouTube site. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we have a podcast as well, and you can catch up on all the podcast episodes that you may have missed. You can catch us at any of the major podcasting streaming sites on the Gen X Gamer podcast. And if you don't know how to access any of those links, all you have to do is go to genxgamers.us, and you can find all of the links to the different platforms, both YouTube and podcast and other things like Twitch. Check us out, like us, follow us, share us with your friends. Okay, anyway, back to this map. World's Edge. Did you guys play any Battle Royale so that you could experience the changes of World's Edge?
We did indeed. We both played together, Jack and I, and it is lava-licious. It's like lava just exploded and blew over everything. There's lava in a lot of parts of the map that you'd never seen before. And a lot of things are bulldozed. There's this whole little tram area that's totally brand new. And there's actually a lot of good content out there. And I didn't see really any bugs yet while we were playing, and just hearing from other people their report that some people are saying this is the best release of any season so far. It's like really polished, and so they were really congratulating the developers on that. And I totally agree. It was really exciting. It was a fresh, take on the map. Enough change that you really notice it, and a lot of new places to explore and different types of terrains than before. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wacko?
Just wish that they could be better at keeping hackers out and cheaters out, but I'm sure that's a very, very hard task. I like the map. I didn't play it I haven't played it at all today. I just played it a few times with Nightshade, and really the only thing that I honestly remember was that little tram station. I feel like we weren't able to stay in the game long enough to really like explore the map. We got into battles pretty quickly.
I've noticed something that they like to do, and I realized it with this change. It's very similar to the big changes they made to Kings Canyon, and that is they like to take the most popular spots and completely decimate them.
Yeah.
And change them up, because the two major spots in World's Edge are the train station where everybody dropped. There was always huge battles, and then that one area with those long buildings that you could go in those tall buildings.
Yeah.
Area where you guys are referring to with the trams and stuff. So those two areas have been completely cleaned out, and they've changed them. And so I've noticed that's kind of what they like to do. They like to take those big areas and like.
Yeah, we haven't seen Skulltown come back, but they do have it in the arena. So it's fun that they bring back those dead areas into the arenas for a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, because they try to keep the Battle Royale maps almost following like a storyline. So it wouldn't make very much sense to how would Skulltown come back, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
completely gone.
And there is some interesting storyline if you follow the, the whole, the comics and everything about it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So do you guys know the background and storyline on Seer? Have you looked that up and watched the video on it?
No, I haven't watched a lot of the backgrounds on these characters. I need to do that.
Nice. I did see an interesting part that, when they were first making him, first they had him as sort of an evil kind of demon kind of like character, and he was going to be this, sort of villain. And then they decided to kind of change, and he's more of an empathetic supporting character. And they actually changed his whole build out and things, which was it was interesting to see that process. But I saw the trailer, really liked it. I don't really know his backstory much beyond that.
Yeah, actually, I don't either. I haven't looked it up. I've been too busy with some other things. Hey, so listen, thank you for the information on an Apex 10. I think that was a great just initial impression. But before we end, since it has been a few months since our last podcast, our last video, each of you gets 1 minute to catch us up on your gaming life. What's new in the world of gaming in your life? And this can be anything from video games to board games to role-playing games. You got 1 minute. What's new?
I'll go first.
Off? Wacko Jacko.
Okay, so video games. I started playing Brawlhalla with my kids, and it's been fantastic. I've been struggling to find a 4-player game on the Xbox that I can play with my kids. And I don't know how I didn't find this game earlier, because I know it's been around. I'm sure you listeners are like, you idiot, that's been around for a long time. But I just found it, and we love it. The other thing is we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons, and in the campaign, we went back in time, and now we're back in the actual timeline. It's been pretty fun. Gosh, I love role-playing. Thank you again, Corey, for that.
All right. Yeah, I've been
to get a big head. You guys complain that I'm so cocky, but then you feed it. You feed it. You feed the monster.
Inflate it even a little more.
Nightshade.
All right. So I've been trying to do whatever I can to get my kids off of Roblox. All they want to do. They want to play board games with me, card games. The only reason they'll play is so they can play Roblox or some video game. They play a lot of interesting stuff on there and whatever, but we have a lot of fun with Fortnite. We get on with my little kids, and they can shred some people. It's amazing, and they love the music now. So thanks to Fortnite, we watched the Fortnite concert, and everywhere we go, they're like, put on the Marshmello, the Fortnite music. And also, we still play a lot of Rocket League is probably our other one, and that has similar type of music. And then, now they're connected with Epic, so it's got my kids into electronic music. So that's been very happy moment for me, and I'm really trying to push that as much as possible. We have little dance parties at our house, and throw on those videos of people playing and stuff, and enjoy that. And so that's the main things we've been doing. I'm getting my son back into Apex again. He's excited about this new season as well.
That's cool. Yeah. Hey, there is no doubt that Rocket League music is fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. It is really good. I put it on, and Luffy was in the background playing Star Wars Online, and he stopped and he's like, oh man, I love that music. And he had to stop and just kind of, rock to it for a second. Well, that's cool. You guys know where I've been gaming wise. Goodness gracious. Destiny 2 has sucked me in. I am proud to say that I am into endgame content now, but I'm like the worst. I really am. I'm not very good at it compared to the rest of the people who are doing endgame, but I sure have a good time with it. It is a whole community, and it's not nearly as nasty as other gaming communities. So I do appreciate that about it. And then the other thing is, once again, Dungeons and Dragons, jumping back into that and doing a campaign with Luffy and Dinkins. That's been fun. So, keep that wish alive, and maybe one day Nightshade will move into proximity of Jacko.
Please.
Have a good campaign together.
For sure. I had a great guest star, about 6 months ago when I was able to come visit, and I played with Jack for the first time.
That would be a year ago.
Oh my gosh, that was a year
ago. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a year ago. And it was just I think I got 3 years younger from that one night of role playing. It brought back, Nightshade, one of my, classic characters, got to come back, and he's all buff, and just really opened a window to my soul, to the dreamy young boy who found Dungeons and Dragons. And I was oh, it just can't beat it. So anybody that hasn't played now, there's no time like now, and there's so many online things. So it's not like you have to be with your friends now. There's like all this cool stuff where you can find professional GMs online and just get on together with your boys or your girls, whatever, around the country, around the world, and have a great night with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, thank you for the podcast. Keep listening, keep looking for our episodes on YouTube. Thanks again. And how about a little play out music? We'll talk to you later.